Welcome everyone to the Modern Mompreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dave Smith, and I'm so excited today to have a very special guest. As you know, we're all about serving the mompreneurs and learning how we can go through this journey with a little inspiration, real talk about our struggles as mompreneurs, as raising a family and running a business. And so today I am so happy to have Daniela to share her story about what she does and how she serves her community as a mompreneur and raises her kids as well. So, Daniela, welcome to the Modern Mompreneur podcast. So happy to have you today.
Thank you so much, Day. I'm so excited to be here and to be able to chat a little bit about our story, how we got here, and how we try to juggle the day-to-day life of being a mompreneur.
Exactly. The struggle is real. Okay. That is what we do. So, Daniela, if you don't mind, tell us in your own words who you are and who do you serve?
Yeah, so I am a wife. I'm a mom of 3 kids, 4 and under. I am an employee, and I'm also was able to add to my list an entrepreneur. Having recently launched Solma, which is the first ready to drink lactation support beverage. And so, what I like to say is, I serve women in the 4th trimester. I know you're so used to hearing like three, the first trimester, second trimester, third trimester. But where I come in and where I see myself fitting is in that 4th trimester. Once you have the baby, and if you decide to embark on your breastfeeding journey, our product is able to support you on that breastfeeding journey because it has a number of ingredients to support breastfeeding women, but in a ready to go bottle, resealable bottle. That was very important to me. So you could throw it in your bag and carry on your day as you needed to.
Yes, I love that. So I was reading about it and I was like, where was this when I was nursing?
Well,
Where
so
was this?
I wondered the same thing.
Yeah.
I wondered the same thing, and that's why we created it, because I
Yeah.
needed something like this.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have 3 kids under 4 and you're running a business and you're a professional boss as well. So I totally get that life, very parallel to the things I'm going through. Um, Tell us about how you navigated into saying, okay, I have this life, but I'm ready to step into entrepreneurship. Because a lot of moms, they are waiting for the perfect time, um, maybe feel selfish to go after their goals and dreams. But for you, what was it that made you say, yes, I have this busy life, but I'm ready to take that step into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're right. I feel like for any busy mom who listens to this, the first thing I'm going to say is there will never be a good time, right? Like there's always so much going on. You will always have, this, that, and the other, and then another kid, and then these 10 activities. So there's never a good time. And I've seen that myself particularly, because being an entrepreneur is something that I always felt was something that I wanted to engage in. That was something that I
Mhm.
definitely felt when I looked at the trajectory of my life. I knew at one point I would do it, but I was trying to like understand, all right, what's a good time? Like, is it when they're little?
Mm,
Is it when they're in school? Is it when they're away, to
yeah.
college, just that and the other? And then I realized there's no time like the present. And what made me take the leap is my why. And I think you said it
Mm,
before. You said, where was that product when you needed it? Exactly.
hmm.
I have 3 kids, 4 and under, and I needed this product. And
Yeah.
so I felt that there's no better time to really jump into entrepreneurship than when I could also utilize the product myself.
I agree. I love that. And I think a lot of times we do put these obstacles in our way, but a lot of things that as an entrepreneur I've learned that it's less about you, really. It's less about you and more about who you're serving, and have been able to produce something that's going to serve so many women, moms that are in this very vulnerable 4th trimester phase. I like how you said that. And had you held off and said, let's wait until the babies are all in school or a little bit older or even in college, then that would have delayed someone really getting something that they needed that's going to help them. So I do love that you went ahead and took that leap and gave yourself permission to do it. What what has the journey been like, starting a product-based business, like the creation of Soma and finding the right ingredients and putting it in the marketplace? Like, tell us about that journey.
Yeah, so honestly, I do not come from a family of entrepreneurs. So it was
Mhm.
a lot of learn as you go. And
Okay.
so a lot of it in the beginning was just research. So and it's crazy when I think of like very humble beginnings of how we started. It was truly Googling how to start a beverage business. And then from there, and it's so basic when you think about it like that. But then from there, I got linked up to an articles and then a company that develops beverages. And then I got in touch with them and they were really, opened their doors and said, let's walk you through what this process will look like. And then from
Mhm.
there, they connected me to somebody else. And what I really noticed, and this now that I'm like in entrepreneurship, is I have found that people really have wanted to help me, have
Yeah.
wanted to they listen to my idea and they say, "Okay, that's not something that I can help with, but let me connect you to somebody who did something similar." Or absolutely, I just did that. This is what I think you should do next. And
Yeah.
so, really that's how I started. I started with googling, finding an article, getting linked up to a company that does this, develops
Mhm.
beverages. From there I was
Mhm.
able to share, okay, this is what I want for my product. This is a taste profile that I'd like to see.
Mhm.
These are the 5 no kidding ingredients that I want in there. And then obviously there can be more depending on the taste, but these are the no
Mm.
kidding ingredients that I want to make sure are in the product. And then from there, they started sending me samples. And
Yeah.
and this actually my company is located in Kentucky and I'm in Massachusetts. So
Okay.
all the samples were shipped. And so a lot of this is one of the reasons why it took so long to get to where we are today, because they'd ship us samples, we'd take time like understanding the flavors, making sure this is what we wanted. We'd send feedback, then they'd go back to the lab, redo more samples after a few weeks, ship it back. So all of that takes some time, but I think one of the most instrumental parts of my journey was really connecting with an expert in the field
Mhm.
that does this, creates
Yeah.
beverages. And then from there, they were really able to enlighten me as to what next steps need to be.
Yeah, yeah, love that journey. And so, that is great that people came into your space and wanted to help you. Because even as I was listening to you, I was thinking about who do I know that
See?
has a beverage company, and then I'm like, well, who else do I know that's a mom influencer that's about to have a baby, just has a baby. I have two people in mind. I'm like, okay, I got to connect you to these ladies to help you, not just with the production, but also the marketing piece too. So, the
Exactly.
yeah,
You're
and it
proving
just
my point
came,
right there.
yeah, it came naturally. Like I want to connect her because I'm thinking, I'm sure they can use that, especially because these a lot of times the women are in their third, fourth, fifth nursing cycle, right? And so they may want to have more supplements because every time could be different. You know, the way you nurse your first
Every
is
time
different
is
from the
different.
second, and what you expect. And you don't want to feel guilty that you can't provide for this next child the way you did for the other child, or, so it's always like having supplements and having, um, that extra
Additional
healthy
support.
option.
Mhm.
Support is very important, so I love that you have that,
And I
and that the
love that you
journey.
said that. I love that
Yeah.
you said that because you proved my point exactly, and that's what I've seen. Like, I just tell the story, and then people are like, "I know somebody who can." You proved my
Yes.
point exactly.
Yes. Yes, and I feel like in this day and age, I mean, I feel like as mompreneurs or just female entrepreneurs in general, it's all about collaboration. I interview women, I meet women in networking, and we are always, for the most part, very giving naturally, and we want to share and help one another. And it's like light bulbs have went off that women sometimes get the pr- the stigma that we're catty and we won't share and collaborate. But I feel like we're dispelling that myth because we are wanting to collaborate and are wanting to see each other win, and there's abundance in all that we do. And if she wins, I win. That type of attitude is definitely there. So I
I
love that. And men
I
as
agree with
well. Men are stepping up and helping out as well. I don't want to shade the men because I have had dadpreneurs on here as well.
Well,
So
it's
yeah.
it's interesting you should say that because my business partner is my husband. And so
Mm,
he was very, very involved. I mean, he was up in the middle of the night what he would do when I started the breastfeeding journey is whenever the baby would cry, he would get up, change her diaper, and then hand her
Mhm.
to me. Because honestly,
Mhm.
those extra 2-3 minutes of sleep while he did that
Mhm.
were sometimes like I really needed it. It's so crazy to think
Yeah.
about it, but sometimes when you're so sleep deprived, an extra 2 minutes really does make a difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, like dads are, and I feel like the conversation is shifting now where they are absolutely more involved, and that's my experience as well.
Mhm. Same, same. My husband did the same when I nursed. He would go and get her because that was also his bonding time with her, to change her diaper and make sure she's okay and then hand her for me
Right.
to do the heavy lifting. But even
Right.
in business, he's right there with you and you need that. We talk about we have an episode called Mr. Mompreneur, that significant other who's there in the shadows, so to speak, helping you not just with the business side, but the emotional support, right? I mean, owning a
Yep.
business is very stressful and the ups and downs. And so they're the one who hears everything raw and real and unfiltered. And you're like, this is what's happening and this is what, and celebrate the joys with you, hopefully.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
definitely a great thing. So I love that. Love y'all's story. So today, Soma, and we can talk about this at the end as well, where people can find it. But right now, where is the business? Where are you guys located? Like, how is it? How is it going for you?
Yeah, no, so things are really great. So I am located out of Massachusetts, out of Boston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that being said, so it's interesting because our product was formulated in Kentucky. It was
Mm-hmm.
produced in Florida. And then it was, so currently it's with our 3PL, which is located in upstate New York, and we're located in
Okay.
Massachusetts. So here, there, and everywhere. It goes to show really, even with business, just like with children, I like to say this
Yeah.
business is my fourth child.
For a
It
child,
takes a
absolutely.
village. It takes a
Yeah.
village. Like so
Yeah.
many different pieces are and businesses are part of this, part of our story. So yes, so
Mm-hmm.
that's where we are. You can find us. We're exclusively e-commerce right now at
Mm-hmm.
on
Mm-hmm.
our Solma website, solmatea.com.
Okay. Got it. Got
So
it.
yeah. So
Okay.
exclusively e-commerce at this moment.
Perfect, perfect. That's what I was wondering. Can we find it at like a grocery store or at Target? But love that it's
Eventually.
online. Nice, great. So you never know. Whoever's listening, who has mastered that piece of distribution,
Yeah,
Daniela is the one that definitely wants to know more about that. So, and I have some
absolutely.
connections there. So that's some people I'm thinking about. I'm sure other mompreneurs listening as well. Um, so let's transition to talk more about the journey of the children that you're raising in the midst of running the business. What have been some aha moments or some unexpected navigations that have come with raising a family and running a business for you?
So my kids right now are very young, so they they require a lot of hands-on support. I mean,
Mhm.
one of them is still like very much in diapers, less than a year old. And so yeah, so I think one of the biggest aha things is that they will see what you're doing and it's all about how you frame it. So my daughter, one of her favorite things to do is sit next to me and work. Because I'm always like, I want to spend time with you, but I also have to work a little bit, doing this, that, and the other. And she's like, I want to work with you. And she just like sits next to me and like colors. And
Yeah.
it's interesting. So what I've noticed, like aha moments, is all about how you frame it because she's
Mm.
excited to like, I want to spend
Mhm.
time with her, like in her presence and with the other kids. And she wants to also do that and also do something like what mom and dad do. She wants to work too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, but like I said, I think one of the biggest things is that there's never a really good time to delve into this. Even though my kids are young, having support around you is critical, or at least it's been very critical to my success. So I am incredibly lucky that my husband, as I mentioned previously, is my partner in business, obviously
Mhm.
on this journey of parenthood, and he's able to take on a lot of like what people would say are like primary parent responsibilities. So he'll
Mm.
do like the drop offs and the pickups at daycare. And he, well, we're still working on this, but when the school needs something, like have them call him versus me first and things like
Mm.
that.
Okay.
So having that sort of support too, taking little things off your plate, even though it's small things, it
Mhm.
really can add up. and really it helps with my personal mental load when I feel like, all
Yeah.
right, I don't have to worry about breakfast and drop off this morning just because, I have this, that, and the other that I need to focus on. Having somebody take that mental load and be like, I got it, do what you got to do, and we'll reconnect
Yeah.
after, is
Yeah.
everything. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
everything. So I'd
I
say my
agree.
biggest aha moments is frame what you're doing in a way that your child understands, because they're excited for you. They're very
Mhm.
much part of the journey. And
Yeah.
having support, whether and if you don't have a partner or somebody that can support you, it can be a friend, it can be someone online, it can be like what we're doing right now, like a podcast that serves you and that feeds your energy.
Mhm.
So definitely I'd say have some of that, because that'll help fuel you as you continue
Yeah.
on this journey.
Love that. Love that. Because that's important to first of all have your kids be a part of the journey with you. It'll help relieve the mom guilt of you being away from them, but you're also pouring into them something that is going to stay with them forever. Have a lot of moms on here who are in the same situation where their kids are definitely a part of their business, and they see it. They like take pride in it. It's enjoyable for them. My kids are welcome to come in too. When they're here and they'd like to do the same thing, work with mommy, work with daddy. And I think that the modern mompreneur is the one who does that, who is inviting her family into her business and showing her kids that they are very much important and a part of this journey with her. So I love that you're doing
Absolutely.
that with your daughter, and you actually have created something from an idea, which is brilliant, because a lot of people have ideas but they don't really have it come into fruition. And so your daughter will able to see what that looks like. And so we tell our kids you can be anything, you can do anything, but a lot of times we don't as adults. We kind of stick to what's safe and what's secure and what's
True.
normal. But the fact that you said, I want to do this, create this, and you use your imagination to create SOLMA Tea and make it have a purpose and mission around it, and your daughter and your kids can see that mom and dad created this business and it's mission based, and I can actually be a part of it. That's amazing. That's a huge legacy building activity or thing that you've done with your kids. And I hope you know how amazing that is, because that really is something that you should be very proud of.
Oh, thank you so much. I When people say things like that, like you just said, it fills your cup, right? It gives you that extra
Mhm.
boost. Sometimes when you don't realize you're like running on E, you're like, all right, I can live to see another day. Because
Yeah.
somebody else said something similar to me when I was expressing like a little like guilt about this, that, and the other. They said, really embracing the and statement. Yes, you are working really hard,
Mm.
and you're showing your kids that you can do what you said, anything. Like here we are, I hear him saying like you can be whatever you want and you can do whatever you want and the world is your oyster and do what you need to do. And
Mhm.
but like sometimes it's harder to actually act upon that, especially as an adult. You have bills to pay, you have other
Mhm.
responsibilities, you have aging parents, you have all this other stuff. But
Yeah.
that's what fuels me really. It's to be able to also, show the kids I'm not just talking about it. I'm trying
Yeah.
to do it as well. And it's not going to
Yeah.
be perfect and it's not easy, but watch me try to do it, and hopefully like that's something that my all my kids are able to see and they take with them as they continue to grow.
They will. They absolutely will. And I was talking to another mom who was saying that not even um her kids are a little bit older, but she even talks about the challenges that she goes through with her oldest. He's 10, I believe, and she'll say, you know, I did this and it didn't work, so I had to redo it, or I invested in this and it didn't really go well. Like she's teaching him even the hard parts of entrepreneurship or just life in general. So it's not all, beautiful and easy going, but there's things that we experience as an entrepreneur or as a professional, as an adult, and she's teaching him that. And so even that part is a very valuable lesson for your kids when they get older to see how you're navigating it, because you're going to teach them how to do it later, when, not if, it happens to them. So,
Right. And that, you know what? It's interesting because I read something the other day that said our job as parents is, yes, we should love our children and, and provide for them, but also everything that we're doing right now is to prepare them for later in life. And so
mhm.
what you said that somebody that you know is doing, That's exactly right. She's like teaching them and showing them, I'm going through these challenges. So whenever you're out in the world and you encounter these challenges as well, remember this conversation. This is what I did. And I think
Yeah.
that there's no better way. I'm very big on hands-on training. So there's
Mhm.
no better way to learn for me than by doing. And so by showing, like, explaining to your kids, obviously developmentally appropriate to whatever age they are,
Yeah.
this is what's going on and this is what I'm doing. So if you're ever encounter something similar, remember that this is what I did and learn from it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was very impressed with that, and I was like, I hope that's the moment me and my kids can have later in life as I'm navigating this journey for sure. Um and then lastly, I just want to know what do you feel like how do you feel like you've grown or if you've grown as both a mom, woman, or entrepreneur balancing these three things? What has been your personal growth journey?
My personal growth, the first thing when you just said that, the first thing that came to mind was I used to always say I was an excellent multitasker. And in certain ways,
Mm,
I am, but I've noticed now with so many different things going on, so many different competing priorities that even though I'll multitask when necessary, I've learned that I'm a better version of myself. I'm a better employee. I'm a better leader. I'm a better partner when I focus on the task at hand. When I'm with
mm,
my kids, I try, sometimes, like I said before, I have to knock out a few emails and my kids are next to me. But when I'm with my kids, I try to be with my kids. When I'm with my husband, I try to focus on him. When I am right here with you, I am focused on you. And it doesn't work all the time. Obviously, nothing is perfect, but I've noticed for myself being pulled in so many different directions that it's easier if I try to focus on the task at hand versus
mm.
trying to do 10 million things at once. And
Yeah,
that's what I've noticed. So that's definitely how I feel like I've grown is that I've become more aware of how I can show up better to the world. And this is a
yeah.
way that I can do that.
I love that. I love that. I am always as a productivity coach trying to dispel the myth that multitasking is the way to do things. Your brain does not function that way, even though we think it do. We're moving through one task to the next quickly, but you're never multitasking. But it's a misconception. But the fact that you're intentional and present is huge because you're able to pour into the person that's in front of you and give them your attention.
Right.
And that's going to mean so much more than you actually doing two things at once and feeling effective or productive. And
And
so
it's
that's a
interesting because
great
it's
lesson.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's definitely the opposite of what I thought. I figured before I embarked on this journey, I would have to be like the multitasking queen in order to do
Hmm.
anything. And now I
Yeah.
realize, okay, the days that I'm most productive are the days, yeah, I have a lot of different things to do, but I focus on each task, complete it, next. One
Yep.
task, next,
Yep.
in that way.
Absolutely. I love that. That's what it is. Focused task is way more efficient than multitasking. We'll say that.
Yes. I like
Yes,
that. I
yes.
like
Good. Love it. Well, now we're going to transition to my favorite part of the podcast, and that's the lightning round. We're going to get to know a little bit more about you, Daniela.
Okay.
So whatever comes to the top of your mind when I ask the question, just say it. There's no wrong answer. It's all unfiltered. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. It's gonna be easy. Three words to describe you today.
Tenacious, giving, available.
Mm, okay.
And I say available. Can I say those are
Yeah,
3
sure.
words.
Okay.
Available, I say that because one of the areas that I feel like I one of my strengths is that I'm really available for my family, for my friends, and I
Mm,
say this even though I have so much on my plate, if anybody in my life needs something, I will be there. And so I never want people to feel like, "Oh, she's too busy, she can't." I
oh, yeah.
so that's what came
I
to mind, and I
like
felt like I
that.
needed to explain that.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. I really like that. Great. Okay. What would you tell your 18-year-old self today?
You know, what I would travel. Travel,
Mm,
get your education, travel. You don't need to have the answers figured out. You know, once that figure out your why, and put one foot in front of the other. And as you do that, things will work out.
Hmm. Got it. Okay. Um, what does it mean to you to be a modern mompreneur?
You know what you said before really resonated with me. I think a modern mompreneur is one that has a clear vision as to why she's doing this. Understand that there's lots of challenges, but also isn't afraid to do business her way. So
Mm,
whether that means, sometimes taking a call if your kids are in the background, or, figuring out what works best for the lifestyle that you have and for the time and, the period of life that you're in. So I think that
absolutely.
being unapologetically yourself and showing up each day as you are.
I love that. Thank you. What do you love about being a mom?
Oh gosh, where do I start? Everything, so sometimes, some days, some moments are definitely hard, but my kids are in a really fun and funny age, where they say the craziest things and they have like the cute little voices, like they sound like Mickey Mouse, like, like they like little kid voices. And so honestly, what I love about being a mom is just like their everyday experiences and seeing it through their eyes. Like something as simple as, I went to the dollar store and I brought like a pack of stickers, and their eyes lit up and I was like, "It's the dollar store, a pack of stickers," but they were so genuinely grateful, and I just
Okay.
love that. The little things that really
Yeah.
can make them, light up their lives, and just seeing that, and I want to provide more of that for them. So I love that.
Love it. That's amazing. Um, okay. So what are you reading, watching, or listening to right now?
Okay. So I listen to lots of podcasts. So I love podcasts like yours. I also really am like a crime junkie. I love listening to Dateline and things like that. I just finished, I think it was the first season of The Night Agent on Netflix.
Oh
Really
yeah. Yeah. We
Did
watched
you?
that. That's
Okay,
good. Yeah.
I was very invested in that show. Very invested. And what am I reading? I just, I love all like thrillers, suspenses. Just finished another Colleen Hoover book. And so just um need to pick up something else now. But yeah, so I love all Colleen Hoover, just any sort of like thriller, things
Mhm.
that really like suck you in, but I don't have to it's like an easy read, if that makes sense.
Okay. Got it. No, I got it. Love it. Love it. And then last, what is bringing you joy in your downtime right now?
Joy. Honestly, I enjoy being at home with my family, like the simple things. My
Mhm.
husband just started a tradition where he makes pancakes on the weekends, every weekend.
Mhm.
And I enjoy like sleeping in an extra like 15 minutes while he does that, coming downstairs with
Mhm.
it feels like Christmas morning. Just like
Yeah.
making what am I enjoying in the downtime? Making little traditions like that is
Mhm.
just kind of basic, but
Yeah.
for me, these are like core memories. And I hope that my kids grow up and are like, oh, my parents used to make breakfast, pancakes every Saturday. And
Yeah.
so I'm at that point where like they're starting to really form memories
Mhm.
and look forward to things. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to see like what other things, we can experiences we can provide like while we're spending time at home, because
Yeah.
they're core memories for me. So I hope that they become memories for them as well. Happy memories for them as well.
I'm sure it will. Later on, you'll say, "I remember when mom and dad did that," and you're thinking, or they even may remember you going to the dollar store frequently and buying stickers. You're like, but you never know. But I
Right.
think that's sweet though. That's what it's all about. Just you don't have to do extravagant things. Kids are
No.
simple. Just be present,
Yes.
available, and do the
Yes.
little things. So I love that. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing everything about the lightning round, and more about you and how you show up as a mom and as an entrepreneur and even as a wife. Um, so feel free to share how people can connect with you, how they can learn more about Soma Tea and support you.
Yes, no, absolutely. So thank you so much for this opportunity. This has been so much fun. So yes, if they want to learn more about Solma Tea, and to order Solma, you visit solmatea.com. We're
Mhm.
also on Instagram at SOLMA Tea. If you send us a message through Instagram or through the website, I will see it. I can respond. And so, yeah, right now, like I said, we're in the beginning stages, having recently launched earlier this year. So a lot of the
Mhm.
stuff is in house. So you will, if you reach out, you will be talking to me directly.
Awesome. Awesome. So great. I love that. And I also want to say thank you for being a guest on the Modern Mompreneur podcast. You are living that mompreneur life. You are, taking your family along on the journey with you. And that's what it's all about. And you have a really amazing product with Soma Tea, a really powerful message behind it for moms in their fourth trimester, navigating nursing, navigating being present for that newborn or for that baby, and also making memories with your family so that they also can see the journey of entrepreneurship, which is super special for them as well. So thank you for sharing your story. I hope anyone who's listening is inspired to know if Daniela can do it. She has the young kids, she has the husband, she has the job, and she's created a business, a very purposeful business, then you can too. So if you enjoyed her story, if you enjoyed hearing about how she did it, I want you to share this episode with another fellow mompreneur, or anyone you feel like that can support her in her journey. Don't forget that, and the beverage distribution, and also feel free to follow her at Soma Tea on Instagram or connect on her website. I will put those in the show notes as well. But I want to just say, let's support one another, mompreneurs. Thank you so much, Daniela, for being a guest. You are an absolute delight. I'm so inspired by everything you're doing, and I want to support you as well. So thank you
Thank you
again.
so much. Thank you for having
Yes.
me. This was so great. I love, especially the lightning round questions. I've never been so stressed, but also like excited to talk about it. Excited to talk about what I'm doing. So thank you so, so much. I loved
Yeah.
being on here.
Absolutely. Thank you. And mompreneurs out there, if this is just a testament to what I say at the end of every episode, always give yourself permission to live your full out dreams, because you never know if that's just a step towards realizing your full potential. So thank you guys for listening. Until next time, you all be blessed.